to RED Red, Relevant, Entertaining, Dynamic. I am your host, Michelle Barone, and I'm so excited to be here today with a dear friend of mine, someone who has brought real light to this show as a co-host in this mini-series with ReMax. Thank you so much for sponsoring. Howard Payson's here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Howard.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, such a pleasure to have you. And you know, you're such a guru in real estate. Everyone around here knows you. We're in the Hudson Valley area. Everyone knows you, loves you, respects you, and you've done so much. How did you get your start? And then we're going to talk about what you've done.
Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. It's truly a pleasure being here with you. I got a phone call one September afternoon. I was having lunch, and a good friend of mine called me and said, "How would you like to get to a job where you could never get fired?" And I said, "What are you, crazy?" And he said, "No, get into real estate." And sure enough, a week later, I got my license, and I've never been fired since. So.
That's amazing. Well, congrats on never getting fired.
Yeah, exactly.
Except you do all the hiring. How many agents work for you now?
So in 5 short years, we went from 6 agents to 145 agents.
Wow. 5 years.
5 years.
That's, I don't even know. What is that, 4 times?
Yeah.
20, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
That's
about
incredible.
30 people a year.
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you.
And think about how many lives you've touched.
Yeah.
I mean, really, everyone across the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, all the way out to Warwick now. You just opened a branch, right? Absolutely.
And we're opening Danbury very soon. You know, the key is really the support and the culture that we kind of bring. I know people say culture is a cliche word, but, you know, the reason I got into real estate was, and it's our mission here, is to find people who are passionate about helping others, who want a better life and a better business. You know, sometimes you get stuck in a job, which I kind of call a just over broke.
Yeah.
I really think it's just so many people want better lives. There's so much more options out there. And in this business, it's about helping people and creating relationships. You know, we're not selling houses here. We're actually helping people discover lifestyle change.
That's interesting. Interesting. Talk to me about that perspective a bit.
So especially, you know, for the first-time home buyer, maybe they live with mom and dad or they just got their first apartment, but there's still some rules, right? You know, we talked with Lindsay Taylor and her wonderful child was drawing on the walls, right? As a homeowner, you don't have to worry about that crayon wall. That's a beautiful thing to, you know, be able to have and to do. But then you also have people where, you know, they're selling, where they may have lived, you know, their full life with their family and they've raised their children, and now this big, beautiful house, it's time to close the chapter and maybe downsize. So it's not always necessarily about the money. It's more about what's the life that they want to do, whether it's to be closer to work or be closer to schools or shops or whatever the case may be. It's not about, no one really wakes up and just says, "Oh, I think I'm going to sell or buy today."
Exactly.
It's more about the life they want.
Yeah, and sometimes it's pushing them to get that because they're set in their ways, right? You buy a house, you're like, "Oh, I'll live there for 30 years. But that's not always the case now with millennials. Millennials aren't buying those mega mansions or the, what did they used to call them, the mini mansions?
Oh, the mini estates, So, you know, it's, in this market and in this kind of industry, it's, no one wants to be sold. Right. I think the top 2 sleaziest job positions that people have is car salesmen and, unfortunately, real estate agents. So we're working hard to change that moniker. But, you know, it really comes down to no one wants to be sold, but everyone wants to buy. It's a self-discovery, and it's about being real. Right? I'm not perfect for every person because I'm a certain kind of agent. I'm really more of a consultant. I wish we could actually change it from salesperson to consultant because you can't sell people. People don't buy it. It's not authentic. And it's not real.
Right. You honestly can't sell. It has to be, like you said, more of a consultancy, where someone asks you questions and you can make a recommendation based on your experience.
Exactly.
Right? And then guide them down a path that's better suited for them, or having the economic understanding of what's going on in the market, what's available, what's not available, when things will be available, knowing the interest rates, having a good banker. It's all of those things.
It's truly, it's about creating a world-class experience, because we have a client for life program that we really believe that we're going to help you before, during, and after the transaction, because deals come and go.
Right.
And it's the relationships and the people that you build. I mean, I can personally say that I would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for amazing support that I've had throughout my life, from my family to, you know, the agents in our office, to our leadership, to our staff, and to my clients and friends. And that is really about building a community. And that's so important in today's world.
I just have to tell you, I was fortunate enough to go to a Yankee game with your team, and everyone was so awesome. I never met these people before. You're like, come, meet us there, gate, what was it, 2, 4 o'clock, don't be late. I got 20 texts, come on, can't be late. I'm like, all right, we'll be there. We got there. Everyone was so awesome. We got to go down on the field, meet all of, you know, the actual players, and because of your connection there. And that was an incredible experience, not for me, but just for everybody. And to do that for your team is so important, and to show that you care so much. I think what I realized about you personally that day was that you're a true leader. You're not somebody that leads because, you know, you're beating your chest, like old school, right? You're like, no, I want to take you with me. I'm telling you about this person's daughter and how special they are. And, you know, it's about the kids. You're very family oriented. You're very cultural centric and not textbook culture, real culture, which is why you've grown so much. And you have some of the best agents under your belt.
Absolutely, we do. And, you know, it's funny because every once in a while, one of our leadership people will say, hey, boss man, or hey, boss. And I always tell them, please don't ever call me a boss. I just hate the word. You know, it's so negative. I'd rather just say Howard or, you know, Mr. Payson. I mean, I never get called that, but I've had a few. But I think it's so important that you build just trust. Trust through action, trust through, you know, follow up. It's so important. You know, we actually talk about in real estate the 5, you know, money producing activities, which is lead generation, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate, and education. And I always tell every agent, you know, their first challenge is lead generation. Like in any business, it's finding new clients. It's prospecting, as the old way is calling it. But the gold is truly in the follow-up. You know, I'm not much of a personal, spiritual person. I do believe in some things, but you want a better relationship with God. You want a better relationship with your spouse. You want a better relationship with your children, your family, whatever. It's about follow-up. It's about consistent communication.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the key to success and growth is your due diligence, your follow-up. It's really going that extra little mile about what you do, what you're passionate about, who you're passionate for and with. That's really...
Ooh, you gave me goosebumps. It's true. It's follow-up. It's that consistency. It's being there for that person in a time of need. Because we all need each other. That's something that, you know, goes without being said.
You know, I heard a great expression is don't be 50-50. Be 90-10. Be 10-90. You know, on some days, you know, you're not always going to be 100% in. Maybe you're at a 10. But that's where your partner, your spouse, your tribe is going to be the other 90. And then when they're down, they're going to be at a 10 or maybe even a 0, and you got to be 100% in. So I never say have a work-life balance. Be 100% in. Be that 80-20 for that person, or have them be your 20-80 person. You know, that I think is so key, is really
you hit it.
Having just a great life and a better business is when you know that you're laser focused and you love what you do. Every day, every minute is great.
You know, it's interesting, the concept of the 90-10, 80-20, however you want to phrase it, because a lot of times in relationships where people fall short, and this for real estate or any type of relationship, is they give 20 because the person gives 20. Whereas if they gave more and they just went that extra little step, they'd go so much further. And truly, honestly, you always want to be that person anyway. Another person shouldn't change your action.
So I love that, and it's so imperative for me. Anybody that I invite into my world that I want to grow and be a partner with, and I kind of have a fun acronym called CAR. Character, attitude, and reputation. And it's so important because because like you just said, you know, 80-20s, people mirror match it, and that's okay to do once you've exhausted your energy, right? But the whole point is, on some days, you're going to be a 25, and I got to be your 75. You know, lean on me, and I'll lean and you can lean on, and I'll lean on you.
Yep.
You know, it's such a symbiotic relationship.
Yep.
That's why it's called a relationship.
Exactly.
It's both sides. It's not just, you know, a dictatorship
Right.
or anything like that. But I think the key is really just understanding that there are going to be people in your life that are going to be, you know, like branches.
Right.
That are, you know, that
Fall
you have to
off.
really fall off. But you find your roots.
That's right.
And those roots are going to stay there. And unless you do something so bad that it gets ripped out of the ground, they're going to be with you through thick and thin. And that's what
Exactly.
you have to do. You have to find your roots.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. So amazing. Wow. And so, Howard, you grew up in the Hudson Valley area.
Yep.
And like you said, you never got fired a day in your life. Did you foresee this growth happening to you? And I don't think it just happened by accident. Did you project it? Did you plan for it?
No, truth be told is we always thought we'd be a small office. We kind of had an expression, eagles don't flock with turkeys.
Oh, I like it.
But when you're new into real estate, you're a baby eagle.
Right.
And it's our job to help you soar. See, the one thing that we have that I think is so important is our staff and our leadership here.
Yep.
Is because you can't make a person successful.
Nope. Nope.
All I can do and all our team can do is create an environment for success.
To breed success.
Exactly.
Yep.
You can't bring a horse to, you can bring a horse to water, you can't make him drink.
That's right.
And I think that's the key of really growing this business, is that our culture, our passion, how much we've given in, people have just attracted to it. It's a law of attraction. If you
It
have toxicity in the office, it's not going to happen. People are going to leave. And that's why we're such a firm believer of empowering people, because it's not my company anymore.
Right.
It hasn't been for a very long time, maybe the day I signed my contract, but it's our company. And people always say, oh, your agents. I said, no, it's our agents. When you're a part of this family, it's our company. You know, my mission every day is to go into a place where I love what I do. I love being around the people, and I can unequivocally say I am around some of the most amazing people, best minds, and just beautiful souls. I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true that over and beyond, I can leave them with my 3-year-old, and I don't have to worry about anything in the world. And it's such an amazing feeling that we have the most powerful and impactful and caring people.
Oh, I love that. And you know what? It's all about the people. People connect to people.
It is.
And you've certainly attracted them because of who you are. You know,
you.
we've had many conversations, but this one's been my favorite so far. It's been so great and positive. And speaking of positive and amazing people, I just want to bring up a dear friend of ours who has recently passed. Kaylin Tui is a great friend. She brought us together.
Yes, she did.
She came to me, she was doing my makeup, and said, I need you to meet somebody. He's going to be my boss. I'm going into real estate. I said, well, you can't go into real estate. You got to do makeup. I mean, you're here with me. You can't leave me.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I want to go into real estate. It's going to be better for me and my son. And I said, all right, let's do it. I'll help you. I'll get you leads. I'll do whatever. And she brought us together in an awesome meeting.
She
the
did.
two of us had an awesome conversation.
Instant chemistry right away.
We knew we were going to be great
Yeah.
together. And she unfortunately got in a car accident, passed away. And it's been horrible since, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been quite a few months of tragedy. Luckily, we were able to raise some money for her son and help him out. Hopefully, we raise more. And
I would love that.
Benjamin, you know, he's 8 years old.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was on her way to his game when she was hit by a car. And
it's such an emotional change to everything.
Yes.
You know, you just don't know how short life truly is.
Right.
And I think that's really something. I've known Kaylin for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We grew up together, and she was such a bright young star, and she had so much potential.
So much going for her. How did it end there?
And, you know, I really took that very personal, and I think the key is that it was fate that we would be sitting here today.
Correct.
Everything, unfortunately, happens for a reason. Some things, though, you can't explain.
Yep.
And you can only live life to the fullest.
Yep.
But it's really so important that every day you don't think about how you got to do something, but rather that you get to do something.
That's right.
You get to go pick up your children from school. You get to go to work. You get to go to laundry. You get to be on this beautiful podcast.
Right, it's amazing.
I think life is so, it's a lottery. You get that 1 in a million chance to do whatever you want. And I know there are people out there that are struggling right now, and it's so important that if you hear nothing else today, but you get the moment to change.
That's
no
right.
matter where you are, no matter what your life circumstances. Listen, people can hop on a bus, you can go on a subway, you can walk. You get to make your own decisions. You get to make your own life choices.
That's true. And you know, it's interesting that you're saying that, because I think that a lot of people get lost in the shuffle every day, or they're raised in a way where it's like you got to go work 9 to 5, you got to go do this. Really, it's all about your goal, what you want in life, and going and getting it, and figuring out how to get what you want. For your agents, you know, it's about doing something that may or may not provide them flexibility as much as they want, right? So it gives them a lifestyle to have a family and to do all those wonderful things, but to have real accomplishment too.
Yeah.
And to say, look, I was able to earn this, be with my kids, be a community member, right? Help others and be part of a cause that's so community forward. So
absolutely.
It's amazing.
You know, I think it's so important. I don't have any goals, to be honest with you.
Really?
I have commitments.
You said that to me when we met.
Exactly. And to me, a goal is something you hope for.
Right.
And hope is not a strategy. There's no process to it.
Right.
Commitment is law of attraction, putting something that's going to happen. I haven't accessed it yet.
Yep.
It's going to happen to me. I can't tell you when. I don't have a crystal ball.
It's happening.
My wife blamed me. I lost the crystal ball a long time ago. And she's right. My wife's always right. Love her to death.
She's the best.
She is. And the key is really, I'm going to do this. It's already an affirmation. It's a commitment. It is, nothing is going to stop me.
Right.
So when people say to me, oh, I'd like to make 100,000 or 200,000. No.
Commit to doing it.
Commit to doing it. Weight loss, commit to change. Commit to what you want. If you're not happy with yourself, how can you be happy with others?
Exactly.
How can you give a life of abundance if you're not enjoying your own life of abundance?
Exactly.
So for me, it's about commitment. It's about, you know, mental, physical, and spiritual fortitude of just power.
Yes.
You know, we talked to Marcus Black, and I told you I wanted to run through a wall. And it's that superhuman power, is that we have the ability and the skills and the power to empower others, yet we sometimes don't even empower ourselves.
It's true.
And I think that's so important in today's world with everything going on, that you have to find a way to empower yourself. Because at the end of the day, you go to sleep by yourself. You close your eyes by yourself.
That's right. You're so right about that, 100%. So what is a typical day like for you? I know you're running here, you're running there. You're like, hey, Michelle, can you come to this event? Oh, by the way, I'm doing this. And I know you're, you know, it's not a sales position that you have. Do you miss selling? Are you still selling?
Absolutely. So I do work with clients. I work with buyers, sellers, investors. I coach agents. Typical day for me is I really start at 6 a.m. I go through my early morning routine, mindset, workout, basics, spend time with family, get my mind right. By 7:30, I'm doing my research of all the people that I need to really talk to, work with. By 8 o'clock, I'm lead generating. I'm finding new clients. From 8 to about 11, I'm lead generating and I'm lead following up, because you have to eat your frog first.
That's right.
The fear of rejection in any sales business, in most businesses, is talking to people. We've been accustomed to being rejected, and we don't like that feeling. But if you accomplish that first, that's my priority. You know, someone else's urgency is not always my priority.
Correct.
But there's a time and a place. And when you really understand lead generation and lead follow-up, and then go on appointments, everything else takes care of itself, because the real estate business can be up and down, up and down. And I hate, truly despise, not knowing where my next piece of business is, not knowing where my next relationship is going to be. So I make a commitment, whether we're working for the show or working to grow another person's business or whatever it is, it's lead generation first, and then let the day take you from there. Because if you don't, someone else's urgencies become your priorities, and that doesn't move the needle forward.
That is 100% true. I can attest to that. We've all been there, and that is true.
And it's hard. 100%. It's not easy.
It's not.
You know, real estate is a simple business, but it's not easy.
Right.
You know, and that's why it's so important that you love what you do. And it's not about real estate. It's about people.
Right.
But you have to go out and put yourself out there. No, otherwise, absolutely. You can't be a secret agent in this business.
Exactly. No secret agents allowed. What do you do to help market your agents?
Absolutely. So we have a full marketing department. We have an amazing marketing director, and we also have a director of agent services where they do consulting. They help them do TikToks, Instagram reels, commercials. They also help with graphic designs. You know, the key is really that ReMax is the largest real estate company in the world. We're an education, technology, and marketing company. We produce our own commercials that our agents can market for themselves.
That's great.
We have our own branding. We have stickers, ironically, that they can do for their Instagram. We also partner with Children's Miracle Network, and we donate proceeds of our commissions for almost every home to the Children's Miracle Network. So most of our homes are miracle homes, and that goes to the Children's Cancer Foundation. So it's a part of that. It's truly helping people understand their niche. You know, who's their audience? You know, I'm not everybody's audience, and that's okay. I can live with that. But there's so many great people. We have bilingual people who speak Spanish, Cantonese, Italian, you name it. We're all over the world. We're in over 110 countries. Wow. So, you know, our marketing is not just for one person. Right. It's for the whole brokerage. It's for the whole company, because when you wear this little pin, you're recognized as a top producer and surrounded by top producing people.
I love that. That's amazing. You know, through all of this, I'm sure you've learned many lessons. Commitment was one of them, right?
Yes.
It's a good one. What's another good lesson you've learned that you could share with others looking to get into real estate or looking to really take their career to the next level, you know?
I would have to say fail forward, forward fast.
Okay.
Is because I spent a year at an amazing small little brokerage, but I was timid. I didn't put myself out there. And once I did, people recognized my true intention was to help. And I think if you come from that contribution that we always talk about, people want to help you help others. You know, it's like Jerry Maguire, help me help you, right?
Help me help you.
And I think the key of it is don't be afraid.
Right.
You know, fear is false evidence appearing real. Zig Ziglar said it best. And I think that's the crucial piece is jump in, right? People make that jump from security to go into real estate, but they get complacent. And the best part about being a real estate agent is you get to be your own boss, but at the same time, you have to have the discipline of being your own boss. And I don't think a lot of people do have that. That's I think it's so imperative.
It is, and it is discipline.
Yes.
It's the most disciplined thing you can do.
Absolutely.
What do people misunderstand about you the most?
That's a great question. I would have to say I don't study quick quips or anything like that. I never really role played for scripts. I've internalized them. I look at different objections as ways people want to work with me. And if I can help them understand why I'm the best fit, then it's a win. Sometimes that can come off as salesy. And I think the biggest piece of what I do is that I always want to be authentic. I'm going to tell you the good, bad, and the BS.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes not easy to hear.
Yep.
But I think it's so important that what you see is what you get with me.
Yeah.
I'm not a sugarcoater.
Yeah, that's good. That's how it should be. Completely authentic and real. You know, this is an interesting question, and I'll say women talk about this a lot, but I'm going to ask you from a male perspective, work-life balance. And I'll tell you why women often, right? Moms, they always say moms take on a larger role with the kids. That may or may not be true today. in your situation, how do you handle work-life balance, and what do you do for your employees so they can also have work-life balance?
Absolutely. So I don't believe in work-life balance.
Okay.
It's a very common discussed piece in our industry.
Yep.
I think you got to be 100% in the moment.
Ooh, I like that.
If you're going to work, be 100% focused and committed in the moment.
Yes.
Your family time, 100% committed family time. You know, one of the nice things that you'll see is that my phone will not ring, and that's because I'm surrounded by some of the most amazing professionals. But I also believe in respect of the appointment, respect of your time and of my time. And the bottom line is, I have 60 clients right now and 140 agents. They need me. They also don't want to get a full voicemail. Have you ever had that happen where voicemail's full? And that's, I think, so important that they have access so that when I am available, as fast as I can be there. But personally, I try to schedule at least 1 to 2 days afternoon off to spend with my 3-year-old, and at least one, afternoon with my family. My wife and I always have dinner together. We spend time together. But I think it's so important that you dedicate time for those people that dedicate to you. And I always believe, first and foremost, family, health, then work. So as far as our team, our staff goes, that's what we're about. We're a family here. And you got to do what you got to do. You got to take care of the ones that have taken care of you.
That's right.
So I think the work-life balance, listen, everybody wants to play more. I say play hard and work hard. But why can't you do both?
Right.
If you love what you do, you're not working.
Right. Right.
So that's for me where I really think work-life balance, why does it have to be balanced? Give everything you got. It's like the athlete, right? Give 150% so that when it's over, you can lie on the field smiling, whether you win or lose, you gave it all.
That's right.
That's the key.
That's right. You gave it your best shot.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. Where can people find you if they're looking to get into real estate, if they want to learn more? I know you got a lot of informational, educational videos out there.
Absolutely. So on TikTok, Howard Payson ReMax. On Instagram, Howard J. Payson. On Facebook, Howard Payson. And homes in Hudson Valley, NY, or what'smyhomesellingfor.com.
Awesome. And also, where can people find ReMax?
Absolutely. So ReMax.com and ReMax Town and Country, NY at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Shout out to your amazing team.
Yes, thank
you
you so much.
And to everybody back with you at ReMax. And I'm so thankful for you, Howard.
We're thankful for you.
Absolutely.
You've been amazing.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on Red today with Howard Payson from ReMax. We will see you next week.